Hello everybody, Brett here with Adventures with Bretimus. Tonight I think I'm going to show you guys my homemade mini recirculating sluice. This is probably about the third one I've made, and this is my favorite so far. I'm one of those people that, anybody can go buy a sluice box, and I enjoy the crafting of things and trying to use your brain. So I'm going to kind of describe it to you first before we go ahead and use it. So what this actually is right here, the actual sluice box itself, is actually a vinyl fence post that I cut in half. It's roughly about 5 inches wide and it's 4 feet long. And it, in my opinion, does a pretty good job. I have deep V matting running the full length all the way down, and I got some miner's moss with some half-inch expanded raised metal, which obviously you need the raised for the for all the little drop riffles. Behind each one of these drop riffles is a vortex, and that's where all your black stand and your heavies will sit. Down the bottom I have one drop riffle. At the end it's kind of like a just in case. So I've used it quite a bit so far. I've probably put about 20 buckets of dirt through it, and it's worked pretty good. And as far as I could tell, it seems like it's been catching all the gold. I've done multiple test pans out of the tailings bucket, which is right here. I have not found any gold in the tailings bucket yet, but this last run that we did the other night, we fed the last 2 buckets through pretty quickly, a lot faster than I usually do. So I got all the tailings out earlier, and they're all right here now, and we're going to run them through again a little bit slower, just to see if I did lose any gold, which I don't think I did, but you never know. I'm sure you always lose a little bit of gold, but I'm hoping it wasn't too much. Alright, well, I'm going to get it set up and we'll get started. Now, between each spoonful, I do wait quite a few seconds just to make sure that those riffles are clearing out. You want to make sure you give your riffles time to clear out all the lights. Otherwise your gold will just go right over the top. That was a lesson I learned the hard way on one of my first sluices. So you just want to feed it nice and slow. And give her time to do what she's supposed to do. This dirt that we're working with is pretty dirty. So the water browns real fast. And unfortunately California's water prices are outrageous, so I try to get at least 4 to 6 buckets through the sluice before I change the water out. I do have plans on making a separate water tank that I could put my pump in and have a filter pipe going through to hopefully have more fresh, clear water consistently running through and double the length of time that I have before I have to change it out. The only problem that I have with that is it's just another tub of water I have to bring out into the field with me. But I don't mind too much. So. Alright, I'm going to run through this dirt and I'll see you guys at the cleanup. So, I just want to let you guys know that all this dirt that I'm running right now, it all comes from a GPAA claim, which I am a part of, the GPAA, which is the Gold Prospectors of America Association. And it's a great thing. If you guys are somebody that looks at this and goes, man, I wouldn't know how to do that, or it's as easy as looking them up, and they give you instant access to hundreds of claims throughout the whole country, and you too can just make yourself a little sluice like this and take it out to a claim and take your kids out there. That's what I do, and then run some dirt and find some gold. I mean, in no way you're gonna get rich unless you get super lucky, which I've never even heard of. But you know, some people like to play golf and some people like to play in the dirt. So like I said, though, it's super easy, it's relatively inexpensive, and you could start finding gold within a couple weeks. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in it and you want more information, I'm not associated with the GPA in any way except for just being a member. But you know, look them up, and you I don't think you'd be disappointed. So. Let all that water drain off, and we'll see what we got in the riffles. There's not very much I see in the black matting. Yeah. There's some black sands and some other heavies in there though. We'll have to get it all cleaned out and pan it up and see if we got anything left over. I'm really hoping we don't at this point, because like I said, this is tailings from the other night, but we did run that dirt pretty fast. We ran 2 full buckets in like maybe 15 minutes, so I would not be surprised if there is some finer stuff in here, but if not, that means my sluice is working better than I thought, so that would be great. So hang with me and we'll get this cleaned up and start panning it out. So before I do my cleanup, I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit more about my little sluice and how I made it. Like I said, the actual sluice is, the actual box is part of a fence post for a vinyl fence, and I simply just cut it on a table saw, and they gave me this nice little box. This is another piece of the vinyl fence post, which I added later because of my water pressure was inside of here. There is a little bit of a wash plate, and there's a little chamber back here that kind of acts as a water damper, and if I turn the water up too much, it'd start splashing over the sides, so I was losing a lot of water. So I went and added this little piece right here as just like a splash guard, and it works a lot better. I can turn this thing all the way up now and I don't lose too much water at all. You know, it's just got a little PVC stand that you know, we put together real quick, and took a couple attempts getting the right angle, but well, I like where it's at now. So, and I have a 120 volt pump in there right now that I use at home. But when I'm out in the field, I have this as well, which just runs off of a couple little 12 volt batteries that I have. It works just as well. It doesn't pump as much as the bigger pump, obviously, but it works. My batteries die too. You could always just hook it. I have an adapter to plug it right into my cigarette lighter in my truck, so you know, we get quite a few hours out of it. And yeah, I mean, everything else was pretty much stuff I had laying around. You got your wing nuts. This is it's like flashing that goes over carpet here and there. I had a piece of. Just cut it down to size. It worked perfectly for what I needed. I got the Deep V rubber matting off Amazon. Same with the miner's moss. And then the expanded metal, you got to make sure you get the raised expanded metal, and that was kind of a little harder than I thought it would be to find. But I did find some in Osh, so it was a bit more expensive than I wanted to pay, but it only came in 3x3 sheets, so I got way more than I needed. But I figured that's okay, because I'm sure in the future, me and my friend are already trying to plan on building another sluice, possibly making our own stream sluice, which would be fun. So yeah, that's my little sluice box. Sluicey in the truck with nuggets, that's what we call her. That's what my son calls her. So yeah, we're gonna clean this up and hopefully find no gold, ironically. So first thing I do is loosen up my wing nuts. This guy just kind of pops up once you get it loose. And then this back riffle I take all the way off because it's going all the way through the expanded metal and the riffle. Set my wing nut aside and drop the riffle in my concentrates bucket. Now I just slowly fill the bucket up with a little bit of water to help me clean everything off. As soon as it starts coming out, I shut it off. That's about all I need. This is the hardest part, is just getting such a tight fit in there. I made it that way. And sometimes it's a pain to get the expanded metal out, but I'm gonna work at it for a second. It comes out. There's usually not too much stuck on it. Still want to give it a good rinse. Give it a quick eyeball. Looks good. Next, it's the good old miner's moss, which is just a fine gold magnet, which is awesome. I'll drop that guy into my bucket. And now, you definitely want to make sure that you get all of this, because this is all the super fine stuff that runs through the miner's moss and gets stuck in the riffles, and that's where you find almost all the fine gold. So I'll just turn my water back on for a few seconds and kind of let this all wash in there. I have this brush that I use just to kind of knock anything loose. give it a good look over and make sure I don't see any shiny yellow stuff in there, which I don't. That looks pretty clean, so move this guy back over to here. Now I got all my concentrates in the bucket in this Myers moss here. We're going to give that a good rinse. Do it both ways. Make sure you do it real good because you don't want to lose any gold. Alright. Now, I just dump my excess water back into my sluice box, and I always dump it back into the catchment bucket just in case, for whatever reason, if I happen to find a whole ton of flour gold or something like that in here, that I could, you know, be comfortable knowing that it's in the catchment bucket and not in the. So that's what I got left in there. Oh yeah, I forgot to get my little drop riffle out of there. Do that real quick. Little water's left, and I'm gonna run through this, pan it out real fast. Like I said, I don't really expect there to be any gold, so I'm gonna go through it real fast, and hopefully I don't see anything. All right, we are back at my panning station, aka big giant green bucket full of water. I'm gonna do a few tablespoons at a time. Probably gonna do a lot more, probably like 4 or 5 tablespoons at a time. Just kind of burn through it real quick. And then if I happen to see anything, I'll probably go a little bit slower, but I don't really expect to. So here we go. I don't know if you guys could see that, but it was just all black sand. 5 tablespoons, just solid black sand. Which of course makes it super hard to get the fine golds out. But it's also kind of fun. If you don't mind getting a little wet. Oddly enough, I find it relaxing. So, one tiny little speck out of that whole bucket of dirt. So that's not too bad. That's it's actually pretty good for a little homemade sluice, if I must say so myself. Let's see if we can't get a picture out of it there. Yeah, there it is. I almost missed it. It's so small, but it's there. But, yep, like I said, that's out of my tailings. So it's not really good, but it's not really horrible either. I mean, you're not going to get all the gold. Nobody ever gets all the gold. I definitely don't expect to with a little homemade sluice, but it's good to know that I could run that much dirt through it and not miss too much. I mean, out of all those tailings, all I got was one tiny little speck that I could find. So there might be a few more really small ones, but almost too hard to see with your eye. So, yeah, not too shabby. So I didn't want to end the video on a tiny little speck of gold. So this is some dirt from another stash that I have that's got pretty good gold in it. And then pan it down to here, and we're gonna see if we can't see some gold here, some good gold. Well, see, it's starting to shine right there. I don't know if you guys could see that, but ooh, that's a good piece right there. Ooh-wee. That's a picker. Right there. Can you see that? That right there, that's a picker. I'll be able to grab that in a second. There's another couple pieces right next to it. Now this isn't dirt that I dug, this is dirt I paid for, so it's kind of cheating, but it's actually a good tool. You get really good at panning, so I recommend it. If you're not very good at panning, go on Amazon or eBay or something and get yourself some decent pay dirt and take it home and pan it. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice little piece right there. See if I can't grab that. Yep. See if you can't hear this. Oh, well, it's stuck. Oh, there. Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that or not, but I sure did. Oh, there it goes again. Get off me, little booger. Anyways, there's a couple pretty nice pieces of gold there. See if you guys can't see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it sure is pretty. So, if you're not really wanting to get addicted to something, I don't recommend doing this, because once you start seeing gold, it's addictive. So, alright, well, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my little sluice box and my little setup that I got going on here. And go ahead and give me some comments if you got any comments. I'll take good, bad, whatever. And always, I'm pretty, I'm obviously pretty new to YouTube, so corrective criticism, I'll take it. And please subscribe and like and share would be awesome. And alright, we'll see you guys on the next one.